This map shows Russia overlaid directly on top of North America. When someone in the western edge of this country is sitting down for breakfast, someone in the east is already going to sleep. This single landmass spans 11 distinct time zones, with thousands of kilometers separating major nodes like Moscow, Lake Baikal, and Vladivostok geographical zone. Regardless of which path you choose, you will face a baseline level of environmental friction. In winter, temperatures routinely drop to -20 degrees Celsius. You also have to navigate strict public norms. In Russia, smiling at a stranger on the street isn't seen as friendly. It is viewed with suspicion or as a sign of foolishness. The supreme enforcer of these public rules is the babushka, the Russian grandmother. If you forget to wear a hat in the freezing cold, expect a stern correction from an absolute stranger. Once you get past that stoic exterior, the dynamic flips completely. A private friendship here comes with intense loyalty and deep hospitality. You do need to pay attention to specific social rules to maintain those bonds. For instance, if you bring someone flowers, you must ensure the count is an odd number. Even numbers are strictly reserved for funerals. Adapting to these social norms is the price of entry. Breaking through that public stoicism reveals a culture of deep personal loyalty and hospitality. This comparison table outlines our 3 regional options, starting with the Western hubs. Moscow and St. Petersburg are your primary targets if you want maximum historical and cultural density. The scale of investment is obvious immediately. Moscow's metro stations plunge over 80 meters underground, featuring arched ceilings and massive chandeliers that resemble subterranean palaces rather than transit stops. Above ground, the payoff is just as concentrated. St. Basil's Cathedral on Red Square provides a dense architectural spectacle with its bright candy-colored domes. Just 700 kilometers away, St. Petersburg offers a stark contrast to Moscow's heavy power. It is built on a network of over 300 bridges and canals, featuring massive drawbridges that open at night to let ships pass. The sheer volume of art and history here is staggering. The Hermitage Museum holds over 3 million items. If you spent just 1 minute looking at each piece, it would take you 11 straight years to see it all. These cities also offer the most accessible regional food, giving you a chance to try staples like pink beet borscht and classic beef stroganoff right where they originated. For travelers on a tight schedule, the Western hubs deliver immediate, high-yield results. You just have to be aggressive about what you skip to avoid severe museum fatigue. Moving east to the Siberian extreme requires a much heavier logistical commitment and a high tolerance for isolation. The centerpiece here is Lake Baikal. It is a geographical superlative, the deepest lake on the planet, plunging over 16,600 meters into the earth. This single basin holds roughly 20% of the world's liquid fresh water. In winter, this vast surface freezes completely solid. The ice is so transparent that you can stand on it and clearly see the rocky depths 40 meters below. This isolated ecosystem also supports biological anomalies found nowhere else, like the freshwater Nerpa seals and the local omulfish. Choosing this route means leaving behind the culinary diversity and convenience of the cities. You trade those comforts for direct access to raw, unparalleled natural geography. The third option removes a static destination altogether and treats the transit itself as the primary investment. The Trans-Siberian Railway is a 9,200-kilometer route. A continuous ride from Moscow to Vladivostok takes 7 full days and pushes you through 8 distinct time zones. You have to set expectations carefully. This is a functional, working passenger train built to move people across an enormous landmass. It is not a curated luxury cruise on rails. The psychological trade-off is steep. You are paying to comprehend the true geographical scale of the country from the confines of a single compartment. The window offers a rolling film of forests, mountains, and plains, but your ability to step out and explore is dictated by the train's strict timetable. You are giving up autonomous ground exploration entirely. The payoff is securing a legendary travel milestone that tests your personal endurance. This flowchart will map your specific constraints directly to the correct itinerary. If you have less than 10 days on the ground, you are a time-poor optimizer. Your path should point strictly to the western cities. This corridor gives you the highest possible concentration of architecture, museums, and varied food within a compressed time frame. If you have more time and want to prioritize rare environments over art galleries, your path moves directly to Lake Baikal. By bypassing the West, you maximize your time walking on the ancient ice. You accept the complex logistics in exchange for visual payouts you cannot get anywhere else. Finally, if you are a time-rich traveler looking for a profound mental test, you take the Trans-Siberian route. Choosing an itinerary that clashes with your constraints will derail your trip. A traveler with limited time has no business getting on a multi-day train. Russia doesn't cater to the passive tourist. If you are looking for a highly curated, effortless vacation, look elsewhere. Navigating this terrain demands rigorous preparation, an appetite for cultural adaptation, and decisive management of every hour you have. But if you accurately calibrate your plans to your realities, the returns in history, geography, and pure scale are unmatched.